Right, hello and welcome to this week's angling blog. It's a Friday morning. I've just dropped the kids off at school. It's about 9:10. I've loaded the car up and I'm about to head out on the bank. Now, one of the most common questions I get asked on social media is how I approach a brand new water. If you're on any of the social medias, the links are in the description below: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So by all means, give the blog a follow on there. The most common question I get asked is how I approach a new water. So this card, the Lymm Anglers Card, is a brand new card to me. I've drove past a couple of the waters, but I've not actually walked around them and had a look at them. So today we're going to head off to a water that I drove past the other day, Woodside pool, and we're going to fish it. You'll see all the sessions that I do on this card. I'll name the waters that I'm going and how I approach them, the good and the bad. I would say on the blog probably 40% of the stuff that you see that you don't see. And the sessions where I just go for a walk around and have a look at a water after work and stuff like that. I'll try and include as much of that in here as possible, as much of what I do on the waters on the blogs as possible. So yeah, got a couple of things to do. Got to nip the shop, get some sweet corn and the bait shop. So let's get on the road. Right, so just completed my arrival slip, posted it, and that's the first look at the water. Obviously you've got a main road next to you there, and I've drove past it a lot of times, obviously, fishing all over the northwest. It's a popular road to go along, but I've never walked around it. So it's the first look at the water, and the access is, the pegs look decent. I mean, it's not the best today, as we'll talk about in a minute, when it's raining like this, for looking at a water, but there's one or two topping down there. For the needs of the video, I think I'm going to avoid that bank. I just think it'll be dead loud. The first thing I'm going to do is just have a quick walk around, and that's what I do on any water. I just walk around and have a look, see what's moving, see what's topping. And it's a fish just topped in front of us there, and yeah, this corner here looks nice down here. My type of corner, that nice and quiet, nice overhangs to fish afloat. But yeah, let's have a look at the water and say we have a walk round and have a look at some of the other pegs. Ideally, when you want to be looking at a water, you want to be coming when the sun's up, the fish are on top, you get a better idea what's in here. And yeah, it looks like a nice pool, gotta say. Nice and easy to walk round. When I went past it years ago, this was all overgrown down this end, so as you can see, nice access. And what I do like about it straight away is every peg seems to have a feature, like an overhang or something that could hold fish. And I say it's raining today, so it's not the best day, and we won't be doing much fishing today. It'll just be getting a litmus test of what's in it. We'll go to the top of this bank here and we'll have a look at what's down this bit. We just disturbed a bird there. And again, good solid pegs, I've got to say. Won't mind these on the river. And this is a nice peg as well. As I say, you've got an area down there. I said the road's going to be busy, I imagine. That's literally the road. And then you've got this bay, and this peg commands a hell of a lot of water, because there's no pegs over there, I don't think. And there's only that one. So yeah, I say we are running a bit late because we've been in the bait shop. So let's get back to the car, get the stuff unloaded, and there's the car. And I'm going to try this peg. I imagine a lot of people who fish here, these are the popular pegs, and if you want to see what's in here, these are probably good pegs to start on, because more bait goes in. If a load of bait goes in this side and hardly any goes in that side, where would you live as a fish? And it's right, so that's my seat box for today. Obviously I've got my brolly up, not here long, but while I've been setting the rod up, we're looking at the water. Now if you asked me before what I thought was in here, I would probably say roach, perch, you know, your normal big pond stuff, maybe the odd, you know, Crewies. And while I've been looking here, there has been fizzing. There's been the odd patch of fizzing in the middle out there. There's been a fish down here taking bits off the top, not very big, it looked like a small carp. So there obviously is a good mixture in here. As I say, today's only a short session. We've only got till 2 o'clock because I've got to go and pick our labs up from school. It's about working out of water, and a lot of that is the depths. So yeah, just going to spend a bit of time just plumbing around and finding out what the general depth is of the area. Right, so set up for today, a size 16 hook, a 2.6 Bay Pearl on bottom, and that's up to a 4 pound mainline, a waggler, and that is where I'm going to be fishing in the shadow of that green there, just about maybe less than a rod length out, past the end of the rod tip. And with this session here, the side tray, I've got a couple of pints of maggots, which I've got them for all weekend. I just got them from the bait shop. Treasure particle hemp, and I've brought some corn, and that explains the slightly bigger hook. Right, so that first cast on the water is always a special one. So I'm just going to flick out, literally to there. I'm going to start with a few maggots, just 3 or 4 over the top. You have to bear with me if I'm shouting today because I don't know how much that road's going to show on the video. But that's how I'm going to start. Just drip feeding maggots over the top. And every now and again, a pinch of hemp. And feed to bite, so let's just see what we get. I say it's always magical when you come to a new water, you just don't know what you're going to get. I'm going to drip feed in 1 or 2 grains of corn, just in case there are any better fish. And let's just try and get that first bite, so let's see how we get on. Right, and there we go, it's probably taken a couple of minutes, and a nice small roach to start us off. Kind of what I expected, to be honest with you, with a pond like this. But there we go. A nice small roach to get the session underway. So casting back in after that fish and just feeding probably 5 or 6 maggots. So I imagine there's a lot of them. Roach in here. And there's another one straight away. Another little. And that's a rud, that one, so a roach in a rud. A lovely little fish. Takes you right back to a kid fishing these type of ponds. And that is kind of what I thought would be the first fish that turned up. And what maggots do, maggots allow you to build a swim with the hemp, and a few grains of corn gives you the opportunity to sit and wait for that better fish. So these early stages, I'm just going to keep going with the maggot and seeing if any better fish turn up. Right, so just had that second fish, and it's a case of just underarm flick, 5 or 6 maggots, and you just feed into bites. If you keep getting loads of bites, up the feed. And every so often, a few grains of hemp. And there's another one, fish number 3, similar size to the last one. Right, and getting plenty of these now, getting a lot of these little small roach. So there's obviously a lot of them fish in here. I've been on the water for about an hour, walking around and then setting up, and been fishing for about 20 minutes. I've had quite a lot of them small roach now, them little ones, with one better one. So it tells me there's a lot of them type of fish in here. Another thing I have noticed is there are better fish in here. I don't know what they are or how big they go to, but there's a lot of bubbling on the bottom. Now them roach won't be doing that. So what that tells me is if one of them comes into me swim, the chances are it's going to bubble and I'm going to know it's there. And there we go, that's a lovely roach, that. A nice, pristine Palmer roach. And like I say, you've seen in them couple of shots, I'm not showing all the fish, but how the quality of the fish is slightly improving. And if better fish moving, like carp, tench, crewies, whatever's in here, they'll push these out. So I'm just going to keep drip feeding the maggots in and a bit of hemp. And if we start catching roach like that all day, we'll have a good day. So let's get this guy back. Right, the good thing about fishing a strung out number 8 and getting a slow fall on your bait is you see all the knocks on the way down. And now I would say there's a good number of them smaller roach or better roach in the swim. Because as you can see, there's a swirl there just to the left of the float. And the float is constantly rising. Now that should be a pinprick, that float, but as you can see, constant knocks, just little rises and drops in the float tell me that there is a good number of roach or smaller fish in the swim, which hopefully means, you know, a crowd attracts a crowd and the better fish moving. As you can see there, the float's moving off and I would say there's a fish on that. So yeah, I would imagine if you had to keep that on there, you'd have a full one by the end of the day, because it's absolutely stuffed with small roach, it looks like. Little crucian carp, and yeah, nice little fight on that acolyte, and that is memories of my childhood. That one fishing a little pond for Crewies, a lovely little bar of gold, and yeah, loads of them little roach and some of the better ones as well. And then this guy come on double maggot, and yeah, it might be raining but it's a lovely fish. Let's get it back. And there we go, it's about 10 to 1 now, and I have lost count how many of these roach that I've caught. It has been a fantastic day on the bank, just a bite of chuck, and what a pool to have on a card for youngsters to come and fish. I'll certainly be bringing my little lad and my daughter here. A bite of chuck. It's getting on for 1 o'clock now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over and just fish corn for the last hour and see if we can wait it out for a better fish. But yeah, lost count how many of these I've caught today. Right, it's taken about 20 minutes just on corn, loads of knocks. I think that was the roach banging into it, and we've hooked into a better fish now. And so I've not seen it yet, but it's taken a while. As I stopped feeding maggot completely and just feeding corn, and loads of little knocks, and I think it's another one of these Crewies, I think. Nice little bite on the corn and a fight on the acolyte, great fun. Let's get it back. Right, so the session's come to an end now. It's 2 o'clock. I say it was only a short couple of hours on the bank. An enjoyable couple of hours. I enjoyed catching them roach, and seeing them crucians was really nice to see. It took me back to the ponds that I used to fish as a kid, and yeah, they're lovely fish, aren't they? So that's an insight into how I do waters. I literally will go to begin with on maggot and see what's in there, and watch the water and walk around it. What would I do differently if I come again? Probably fish bigger baits. As I've said before, if you were putting them roach in a keep net, then I'd love a day like that. I love seeing the net at the end, but putting them back one after another really isn't my cup of tea. So we'll come again and fish bigger baits. Corn over hemp would definitely work, maybe pellet. I'd use a different float. There was a lot of times where the swim was bubbling in the last hour on the corn, but there was a lot of knocking about, and them crucians can be quite finicky, can't they? So now I know these crucians in here, would probably next time fish a pole float rather than a waggler style float, because it's a lot more sensitive. And yeah, not the greatest day to be checking. Days like when you go and check in the water, you want it to be generally quite warm, because then you can see a lot of fish moping about if there's better fish in here, and the fish are a lot more active and up the shelf. It was a good session, learned a lot about the water, and I can see myself coming back here, you know, on one of them evenings after work, because it's not far from where we work, and sitting there, you know, with a bit of sun on the water on them late summer evenings chasing crucians. So I'll definitely be back on the water, so look out for that in the coming weeks. And yeah, got to get off now to pick my little girl up from school, but it's been a good couple of hours on a new water, and I love catching them crucians. If you haven't subscribed already, then please don't forget to subscribe and click the bell next to it. We'll alert you when all the videos go live. I put a video up every Friday at 6 o'clock. And yeah, tight lines in your own fishing, and I'll catch you all next time.